stand before you to tell you about a man who was very dear to me. He was tall, he was strong, and he was my dad, the late Johnny Winfred McFatten Sr. My daddy, as I called him. He raised 5 beautiful girls and 1 handsome son. A house full of women is what he would come in the house and say, with a smile on his face and a wad of tobacco in his jaw. My daddy was a great provider. He went to work every day because he was a hardworking man. He went to Sunday school every Sunday morning, and he stayed there till every service was over with. He was a great fan of sports. He loved them all, and he would watch them all if he could. At church, my daddy was the vice chairman of the deacon board. He was the custodian. He was the superintendent of the Sunday school. He served on the usher board, and he was the fix-it man. I remember one Sunday morning going to Sunday school at 10 o'clock, and I heard him singing his favorite song, Jesus, Jesus is my only friend. So I said to myself, they started. And I went and I looked in the door, and he was the only person in Sunday school. And he had started exactly at 10 o'clock. My daddy was on time with everything. As an usher at church, my daddy directed traffic. His arms were so long that he could tell a person to stop and then go at the same time. All he needed was that orange vest to direct any 357 plane to a safe landing. The Atlanta Braves was his favorite baseball team. He went to a game one summer and he loved it. He was a New York Knicks fan, and Patrick Ewing was his guy. The Cleveland Browns was his favorite football team, even though they never got a ring. I can recall him telling me when I shot ball outside at my goal, practice your free throws, they win games. I practiced when I wanted to. Needless to say, one night in Atlanta, Georgia, at a championship game, when I played for the Coffee Hot Trojans, I was fouled with 0 seconds on the clock. 1 free throw would have won the game. 1 free throw would have tied the game. 2 free throws would have won it. Needless to say, I missed them both. I cried all night because I did not want to face my daddy, because he told me that free throws won games. That next day, traveling home from Atlanta, I didn't know what to do when I saw him. I didn't want him to get upset with me or tell me anything. But when I saw him, he didn't say a word. But my brother, he said it all. In the summer of 1993, my brother was diagnosed with a brain tumor. He was scheduled for surgery at Emory University with one of the best neurosurgeons there was. My daddy and my mama, they were there through it all. Every doctor's appointment, my daddy was there. When my brother got so weak that he couldn't walk and he couldn't do for himself, my daddy would bathe him. He would dress him, and he would carry him if he had to. My mama, my other sisters, and I, we couldn't have done a more decent job than what he did. So we were very glad to have my daddy then. On December the 9th, 1994, at the age of 21, my brother died of brain cancer. My daddy was there through it all, doing what a loving father would do, and that was taking care of us. What a man he was. Oh, how I wish my daddy was still here. He would just adore his grandchildren. 4 boys, 3 girls, and 1 on the way. Oh yeah. At his funeral, the church was filled with people he loved, his family, and his friends that really cared about him. He loved everybody, and he treated everybody the same. At his homegoing, when we laid him to rest, He wore his white usher suit. I know that my daddy's in heaven with the pearly gates, with the pearly white gates and the streets of gold, directing God's traffic.